Look at that thing. I mean, look at it. It's got sparkles, it's got glitter. It's the freaking unicorn of running shoes. It's also pretty damn fun to run in. The Endorphin Pro 3 is Saucony's latest super shoe packed with bounce, carbon-plated snap, and all the color and glitter one could hope for in a road racing beast. This newest version is such a fun and dynamic shoe that I also think can serve runners throughout the pack when enough time is used to acclimate to the shoe's character. Now, starting with the midsole, the Endorphin Pro 3 utilizes Saucony's super fun Power Run PB midsole for all of that squishy bounce. Inside is an incredibly snappy S-curve carbon plate that gives the shoe its super unique propulsion. The Speed Roll rocker geometry works great at rolling through your foot strike, and the super airy form-fit mesh upper with unique cutouts does a great job of keeping that foot breathing and cool. This shoe is fast. This shoe is fun. This shoe is expensive as fuck. Ultimately, is it worth that price? Hopefully we'll be able to determine that in today's review. Sit back, relax, let's dive in.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. Today we are talking about this. The Saucony Endorphin Pro 3, the race-ready shoe that is, designed to go fast. Now, before we actually get into the review of this shoe, GRGR registration is open now. Head on over to rungrgr.com for more information. It is our annual, now in its 7th year, Ginger Runner Global Run. It's like 7 days of fun running challenges for everybody, no matter what ability you have and no matter where you live around the world. It is a fantastic community-based event. We love doing it, and we hope that you consider joining us this year. We've got 2 different registrations, one with a t-shirt, which is shipping now, and one with digital download. If you don't want any of that stuff and you just want to save some cash and join the fun, it is super fun. Head on over to rungrgr.com. Before I talk about likes and dislikes, I have to point out that this shoe is provided for review by Running Warehouse. I'm under no obligation to say anything positive or negative. I'm not financially compensated in any way for anything that I say about this product. All opinions are my own. No one has to approve this video before I post it. You are the first to see it. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Let's dive in. I like to talk about the things I like and dislike. Today, no different. We're starting with things that I like. Midsole. The Power Run PB midsole is wonderful. I really like it. I talked about it in my review of the Endorphin Speed 3, which also has Power Run PB. But right here, there's tons of it underfoot. It is super squishy and bouncy, and it just wants to propel you forward. I think it does a great job of providing cushion, protection, comfort. It's a really good material that I am finding lasts longer than I expected. I have a good time in it. I think Saucony did a really good job with it. Yeah, that's a like. The plate. It is a carbon plate, and it is snappy. It is stiff, and boy, does it do what it is intended to do. Propel you forward. I really like the feel of the carbon plate in this shoe. There's a lot of shoes now from a lot of manufacturers that use carbon plates, nylon plates, different types of materials, Carbotex. In this case, the carbon plate is that new S-curve shape. I think it does a really good job of wanting to move you forward without being too intrusive. Like, I've run in some shoes that have carbon plates that just feel like way too stiff. I do get some good movement out of this, and it does want to snap you forward. I will say that the Endorphin Speed 3 with its nylon plate does a really good job as well as providing a plated experience. If you're looking for that stiffer, snappier ride, the Pro 3 is the way to go. That carbon plate does a great job. The upper. So I consider this to be a big change and sort of what separates the Pro 3 from the Speed 3. This upper is very breathable, very airy. You can pretty much see right through it if you're looking up into the light and stuff like that. Despite what it looks like, all of these holes that you can see visibly don't go all the way through. There's an actual micro mesh layer underneath where you get the breathable mesh, that wide open mesh that you see that's pink, and then underneath it is sort of a translucent mesh that's very light and allows that air to kind of seep through without too much debris and stuff getting into the shoe. The Pro 3 has done a lot of things in the detail department to make this upper super fast and fun and unique, especially to the rest of the Endorphin line. That being said, it's not all Berlin marathons and world record marathon times. Holy crap, Kipchoge, how the hell did you do what you did? There are a couple of things that I dislike about the Endorphin Pro 3. Let's get to those now. Price. It's $230. That is a lot of money to spend. I know that there are a handful of carbon-plated shoes that are in that price point, and I have to say that they are too much. I just think that's too much money to spend on a shoe, specifically running, and I get it. They have all this technology and all this marketing and hype behind them. But when it comes to plated shoes, I think there are offerings out there that are at a lower price point that give you a similar experience or snap that you might be looking for. I'm looking at you, Atreyu. It's alienating, and I know that these shoes are designed for the front of the pack, but I think they work for anybody who wants to give them a shot. And when you start pricing them that high, it just alienates a lot of people, and that sucks. So $230 is just a lot of money to spend on a shoe that's supposedly doing less and is lighter and blah, blah, blah. Too much. Stability, specifically with the level of stack height, where your foot sits on the Power Run PB midsole, the narrowness of the shoe, the sort of narrowness of the entire platform. The shoe can move side to side depending on how you strike, especially if you strike on the lateral side of your foot. You tend to want to kind of roll out a bit more. So I didn't have major stability issues, but I can see how this shoe underfoot can be a bit of a stable issue, especially if you do have rolling issues with your foot strike. So consider that when you are considering these. But that's kind of it for dislikes. There's a lot to like about this shoe, and I like all of those things. Let's get a bit more specific in our breakdown, where we talk about build quality, comfort, fit, price, and look. Starting with build quality, I'm actually impressed with this mesh upper. Again, it was one of my likes, and that is also in due part its durability. It's holding up really, really well, despite the number of miles that I have on the shoe. Power Run PB, holding up well. Outsole, also holding up well, surprisingly. So overall, I'm getting plenty of miles out of the shoe, despite it being geared specifically towards elite, towards front of the pack, towards that marathon distance, and I don't know, it's holding up better than I thought. Comfort. It's a comfortable shoe if you like a snappy carbon plate. I mean, it's really inflexible when you think about it, but it does want to propel your foot forward. The Power Run PB midsole is where all of that comfort lies. I kind of want to lean more towards the nylon plate. Speed 3 version of the Endorphin. The Pro 3 is just, can be a bit cumbersome if you are not wanting to pick up the pace. You just kind of want to plod along for a little while. Fit. I think the fit is dialed. It is a thinner mesh. It is a more breathable and lighter mesh, so you might feel like it's not gripping your foot quite as heartily as the Speed 3. That's okay. I think you still get plenty of lockdown, and I've had no problem getting a good fit out of my size 11, which is true to size for me. Price, I've already talked about it. $230, I think it's way too high. It's just a lot of money to spend on a shoe. And finally, looks. Hey, I like it. This bright pink with the sparkles and the iridescent quality. It was a little shocking when I pulled it out of the box, but man, it has grown on me. I totally dig it. They are loud, and I totally am into that. So, looks, I'm here for it. I will say that I really like the Endorphin Speed 3 looks. The bright blue, just all blue. What if this was all pink or all yellow or whatever color they chose? But the midsole, adding color to that would be super cool in this. Bringing us to our conclusion. I think the Endorphin Pro 3 is a super fun ride. I think if you're looking to go fast in a marathon distance or below, you can get a lot of fun miles out of the shoe. I do think it will take some adaptation if you're not used to that carbon plate experience. This one has a super sharp and snappy carbon plate that you're going to want to get used to, but it does a great job of taking what was great in the previous versions of the Endorphin Pro and carrying them over to the 3. While I do think that the shoe certainly caters to the Pro, I think a mid-packer can do just as many fun things in this shoe as them, but at that price point, $230, you really have to justify why you're buying a shoe like this and what sort of performance gains you're going to get out of it. I mean, that is the big ultimate question for you and your experience in this shoe. It's fun, it's snappy, it's fast. It's also very expensive. Would I choose this over the Endorphin Speed 3? Not necessarily. The Endorphin Speed 3 to me is a better value for a plated experience, but that's also not saying much because that is a very expensive shoe as well. This is $60 more, and I don't think it's a $60 more experience that you get out of the shoe. I think you get more value out of the Speed 3, so consider that if you are shopping for a carbon-plated shoe. But there are other shoes from other manufacturers that sit at price points below that can still get you that fun experience. Okay, bringing us to our ultimate criteria. Is the Endorphin Pro 3 a buy, try, or a why? I'm not going to call it a buy because I just think it's way too expensive. Save your dollars, spend them on something else, buy something nice for a friend. I would consider this a try if you are in the carbon-plated market because I think it gives you a super fun experience if that is what you're looking for. And that, my friends, is my opinion. Turn the tables to you. Have you run in the Endorphin Pro or the Endorphin Speed or any of the Endorphin shoes from Saucony? Let me know what you think in the comments of this video. And of course, if you want more information or if you want to get a pair of the Endorphin Pro or Endorphin Speed for yourself, Links in the description will take you over to Running Warehouse. They are affiliate links that cost you nothing, but they do help the channel, so consider using those if you are buying pretty much any of your running gear. If you are a GR Crew member, patreon.com/thegingerrunner. We have a coupon code that you can also use over at Running Warehouse to get you a discount on pretty much everything that they sell. So all your running gear will be discounted. And consider joining the GR Crew if you have not already. And sign up for GR, run grgr.com. That's it. That's my final pitch. Thank you so much, everyone. Click the subscribe, notification, all that. Get out there, train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.